Hi everyone, it's James from Gradar. Let's discuss a hugely important issue, equal pay, and more specifically, gender pay gap analysis within Gradar. Now, it's no secret that pay equity has become a much more prevalent discussion in recent times, and the legislation has never been stricter. We all know about the EU Pay Transparency Directive, US pay transparency laws, and others, meaning your organisation needs to be very careful around ensuring you're paying your employees fairly and you can defend yourself against equal pay claims. So meeting these requirements is not a suggestion, it's compulsory, and it's something we all need to be aware of. Now, point factor-based job evaluation is actually one of the foundations to doing that. And if you check out the Gradar logic video, you can actually see a breakdown of the Gradar algorithm, our analytical job grading framework, and how that forms the basis for fair, equitable rewards processes. But for now, let's just talk about the gender pay gap analysis. So once you've graded your roles and uploaded your pseudonymized employee data, you're going to have access to this dashboard. Now, this is going to show a few different views and analysis. So at the top, you're going to see an unadjusted gender pay gap, average and median for base pay. You can also see this for target total compensation at the bottom. You're also going to see a gender distribution by quartile and an adjusted gender pay gap by grade with an accompanying written analysis. You can go into more detail with the tab-based views. So the unadjusted analysis shows the comparison of men's and women's pay regarding their average and median, and can provide insights into an imbalance in earnings. But if we're being honest, we're going to want to go a lot deeper than this. So to create a meaningful narrative about your potential gender pay gap, you can have a look at the demographic data. So this is what we call the glass ceiling analysis. So this gives you an indication of structural imbalances with your organization, like more men in expert or management positions than women. So in this demo account, we can see, well, at grade 12, we have no women in roles more senior than that. So that's something that we should probably want to have a look at. Our representation of the distribution of salaries allows you to analyze salaries within a grade and easily identify any outliers for case-by-case examination when it comes to gender-based pay. So this is going to help identify grades where a gender imbalance exists or salaries per gender might be biased. And underneath, you'll see all that information in a really nice data-based view. Now, the heat map, one of our newer features, is particularly exciting because this is a really easy to understand visual representation of the difference in earnings between male and female employees across job grades and job families. So on the x-axis, you're going to see the job value displayed as a grade or a company-specific level. And on the y-axis, you're going to see the values grouped according to global job families. So this makes it so simple to identify pay gaps. Red indicates you've got a pay gap of more than 5%. Orange is a pay gap of more than 3%, and green is a pay gap of less than 3%. Now, a grey colour like here shows that there are only men or only women in the group, so no comparison is possible. If you hover over a pay gap, you can see that we're given a sample size. Now, bear in mind that small sample sizes are going to lead to outliers, and larger sample sizes will be much more reliable. They're going to reduce the impact of the outliers and offer a much clearer picture of your gender pay gap. It's also possible that individual columns may be green, but your overall column may be red. This reflects isolated areas where women are paid more, but when aggregated, the broader pattern shows that men earn more overall. You can see in the column here we have the adjusted gender pay gap. Well, of course, there's a tab for that too. So this adjusted pay gap is going to take into account other possible and relevant factors influencing pay and equating them through a statistical model. So the inclusion of these control variables in the model statistically removes their effect on annual pay and therefore allows us to estimate the adjusted gender pay gap. So this measures the extent to which the same salary is paid under the same conditions, and this is a really strong measure of inequality.